I look like absolute shit. I look like garbage on a hot summer's day. I'm Superman all of a sudden. Anyways, you wanted to do this with me, so what's going on?
You're so hard work.
So, how's it hanging?
No. Okay, people. So it is that time of our week again. Yes, right. It's Echo Chamber, baby. And I've been promising you this shit for a long ass time. I know. I've been saying it, but ain't my fault, because you know what I mean, when you ask someone to do something and they say they're gonna do it and then they drop the ball time and time again, you know that person, right? Everyone's got that person in their life.
Well,
sometimes multiple. Shut up, you ain't been introduced yet. Okay, so people, that person is young El Fadli. That's right, you might recognize her from the person who directed, wrote From A to Q. We've spoken to young Emmalie a few times already, and yeah, I was just like, I need a co-host. Obviously, you know, I called up Sam was busy, and I was like, oh, okay, I scraped the bottom of the barrel and I got young El Fadli. So people, Emmalie El Fadli, our new co-host of the motherfucking podcast. Let's give it up for Shuri. Yo, kid, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. What an introduction. Jesus Christ. Being yelled at. Shut up. Yeah, this is good. How's everyone doing?
Talk about films.
Yeah, we're
films. Well, there's 4 films.
Yeah.
Someone watched the films. Someone did not watch all the films.
That's it. 4 films?
4 films. But first, let's get into the UK box office top 10 like we do every goddamn week. Okay, people. So, although, right, we're doing things a little bit different this week, we're still, you know what I mean? We're still going to do what we do. And that's, we're going to start off with the UK box office top 10 for the weekend of the 17th to the 19th of June. Okay, so the number 10 film, it is Vikram, right? And I still have no more information, right? If you enjoy Bollywood, then yeah, you probably get down with it. But people, I cannot tell you a thing. At number 9, no, right? Fogies on the Run. It is Downton Abbey, the new era, right? Michael Engler directs, Julian Fellows writes, and we got Matthew Good, Tuppence Middleton, Maggie Smith, Michelle Dockery, yeah, and the rest of the people's them. Okay, at number 8, it is Pierre Puthew's adaptation of Aaron Blabe's books. It's The Bad Guys, right? We've got, well, it's written by Yoni Brenner and Ethan Cohen. And we've got the voice cast of Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Aquafina, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, Richard Akayeda, Zazie Beetz, Lily Singh, and the crew. Okay, so at number 7, yeah, at number 7, right? It's another animated piece. Well, I mean, it's a hybrid. I feel that's what you would call it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, right? Jeff Fowler directs. We got Pat Casey, John Whittington, and Josh Miller handling the screenplay. And Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, Colin O'Shaughnessy, Jim Carrey, James Marsden, Tiki Sumpter, Natasha Rothwell, Shamir Moore, and Lee Magaboob do their thing in front of the camera. Okay. At number 6, it is the sci-fi flick kicking all sorts of ass. It's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It is co-directed and co-written by Dan Kwan and Daniel Shudder, right? We got Michelle Yu, Stephanie Huzu, Ki Hui Kwan, James Hong, Jamie Lee Curtis, Telly Medel, Jenny Slate, Harry Shum Jr., and Biff Whiff doing their thing. So, people, we are now in the top for 5, right? And at number 5, now also on Disney Plus, it is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Ha ha ha. So Samuel Rami, right? He took over and did his thing. It's written by Michael Waldron, and we got Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Benedict Warren, Chitwell Ejiofor, Jait Gomez, Michael Schroesberg, Rachel McAdams, Bruce Campbell, Julian Hillard, Jet Klein, Keenan Moore, Patrick Stewart, Soy Coyle. Oh, people, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. And we talked about it, what, 3, 4 weeks ago? You know what I mean? So you can go back, check that out, right? At number 4, another one we talked about. I feel we talked about this last week. I think we did. I may be wrong. My memory is horrible. But I'm talking about the new Emma Thompson joint, people. It's good luck to you, Leah Grande. So this is directed by Sophie Hyde, written by Katie Brand, and as mentioned, the aforementioned Emma Thompson, Daryl McCormack, Isabella Laughlin, Les Mabeleska, Leni Bear, Karina Lopes, and Charlotte Ware. Right? So, top 3. Okay, and we have the new Disney Pixar joint. It is Lightyear. Okay, so this is directed by Angus McLaren, McLean even. McLean co-writes with Jason Headley, and we got the voice cast of Chris Evans, Kiki Palmer, Dale Soils, Takiti Watiti, Peter Soin, Uzu Adubua, James Brolin, Mary McDonald Lewis, Efren Ramirez, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. So, at number 2, people, oh, another one that we did a few weeks back. It is Top Gun Maverick. And people, it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. Go back, check the reviews. People, it's great. Oh, man, we gave this love, right? Joseph Kosinski directs, Eric Warner Singer, and Aaron Kruger write. We got Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, Val Kilmer, John Hamm, Miles Teller, who is in a feature this week, right? Ed Harris, Jean Louisa Kelly, Manny Jacinto, Glenn Powell, Raymond Lee, Monica Barbaru, Lewis Pullman, Danny Ramirez, Jake Picketing, and Jay Ellis, which means, and it's no surprise, right? It's no surprise. It is the last part of this current trilogy because word is there will be more films in this franchise. I am talking of Jurassic Park Dominion. So we have Colin Trevorrow directing. He co-writes with Emily Carmichael. And we have Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum all returning. The Wonder Wise, Mamadou Afi, Isabel Samon, Campbell Scott, B.D. Wong, Omar Sy, Justice Smith, Daniela Pineda, Scott Hayes, Dickon Lackman, Christopher Pollara, Caleb Harron, and Freya Parker. People. Yes, I imagine if you enjoyed the previous two, you're going to want to see this last joint. Okay. Well, that's the UK box office top 10. Let's get back to it and let's talk some films, shall we? So, the 4 films this week. So, the 4 films I watched was Revealer, right? New Shudder original. Then there is Spiderhead.
Yeah.
Spiderhead? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Spiderhead.
Spiderhead.
That's what I watched.
Then there's the Summer in the Shade.
Okay.
And for the life of me, I've forgotten what the other fucking film is. There's another film.
Well, don't ask me. I only knew 3 of them. I don't know what.
Okay.
The Revealer? No.
No, not Revealer.
What did I?
Oh, it's Ultrasound. Ultrasound.
So I think first we're going to talk about Spiderhead because I've watched it. That was one of the only film I watched out of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, so like, I thought the premise was really cool. It didn't feel very long at all, and I think it's because it was all in one place. You know, it didn't like go out and in and out and in and whatever, and you had to like keep track of a lot of information. But saying that, there was a lot of information. So like there's just a lot of talking, and I felt like maybe it would have done better as like a series rather than a film, because it felt like there was so much, but you only got to see like a tiny little bit of it. And the ending just to me was shit. I was like, what the fuck kind of ending is it? It's almost like I don't know, it was almost like they got to like the last 3 pages of the script and went, I'm just, who cares? I'm just gonna whatever, and then they just wrote whatever they wanted, in my opinion.
It was an interesting one for me because I thought the music was fun as fuck.
Oh yeah,
the music was like that 80s vibe. Yeah, I just like loved the music, and Hemsworth as the weird doctor dancing and all that was fun.
Yeah,
that works. That's fun.
Yeah,
I thought there's a lot of ambiguity around it all.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like you know, because we don't necessarily know what, because you know it's meant to be a prison, right? And they're doing tests to get people commuted on their sentences, and all of that. So we kind of know this, but not fully for a while. And you know, I think it's always a little bit weird when you're doing a film, say about a prison or a hospital or just something where there's a load of people, and you only really see and focus on 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, okay, but where are all the others? You know what I mean? And it's just like Lizzie only came into it kind of towards the end.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, we have him talking to her in the kitchen a few times.
Yeah.
But there's no real connection to the character. You know what I mean? It's just like when then they bring her in, and then it's meant to be, oh, there's a love thing, there's this, there's that, and it's just like, whoa, now you're just, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, let's speed it up, let's speed it up, let's speed it up, and it just felt like they kind of rushed that kind of element of it.
But that's what I mean. I think that's what I mean by like if they had done it into a series, I think all of that would have been much better. Like you could have built on a lot of things, and you could have probably seen more of their past, because even his past was just a little bit, it was very, I don't know, I felt like it was just very stereotypical in a sense, and like, I don't know, I just felt like he didn't do, I mean, I don't know what punishments you get for doing what, like especially in America, but his the reason that he ended up in prison, I feel like just wasn't
No,
enough.
No.
Like he didn't do
What
it.
the fuck do you mean?
Well, what I mean is that he didn't take a gun. What I'm saying is that he didn't take a gun and shoot someone because he wanted to. He got in a car because, yes, he was intoxicated.
Yes.
And obviously he was an idiot on the road. But it's not like he didn't try and, like, it's not.
No,
like
but
he
you're
did it on
getting,
purpose.
yeah, but you're still getting
But-
done for manslaughter. 2 counts
Yeah.
of man. So you're going to jail.
No,
Right?
I didn't say don't go to prison. I was just thinking, like, that's another thing. I was just thinking, how do they pick these people, like, in this place? That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, I think it's
they're obviously not choosing them for the crime, for the. It's almost like they've chosen them for the state of their mind rather than the crime that they did.
I don't know, because Rogan,
Yeah,
he killed someone.
and he didn't care, did he? Like, he didn't look like it.
No, he didn't really give a fuck. So
That's what
we
I
know
mean.
he killed, like, legitimately killed someone, right? So I forget Miles Teller's name in this one, but his character, right? So you're going to jail for drink driving and endangerment. So you'd go to jail for that,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 people dying.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick up probably 10 years, I imagine, as a minimum.
Okay.
Right? So that, I'm like, yeah, he goes to jail. Right? And we know, and you kind of felt they didn't seem young.
They were, like, in their 30s.
You thought 30 in that bit?
Wait,
when he did the drink driving?
No, maybe like late 20s.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of figured they're meant to be probably 20, 21-ish type of thing.
Oh shit!
Then.
So you went really low.
Well,
okay.
I mean, that's usually how they play
so
it.
what you're saying is, so what you're saying is when the thing happened, they were younger, and then in the prison they were older.
Yeah.
But see, this is what I mean. That's another thing. Like, I wish that they had said how long he had served before going into.
Oh
the
yeah,
program.
we don't
I
know,
just don't know any
time
no
frames or
That's why I hate
anything
that.
like that. But it's just like, but what I mean is, he went to, like, the age in which we see him when he does the thing. It's not like you're so young you don't know better.
No,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's just like, but it's a bit, I think one of the big things of it at the end, right? They're playing it like they're not bad people. And I'm just like, yeah, but you still killed people.
Yeah, I think
what I mean?
that's what, I don't know. For me, I think that's where it's different. For me, they made a mistake, just like she was saying. I made a mistake. I forgot about my child on my way to work. Yes, I killed her, but it wasn't intentional. It's not like I went to work thinking I'm going to leave her in the fucking car.
But the thing is, I thought hers is less egregious.
What do you mean?
Because right, single mom,
yeah,
having to probably maybe do a few jobs, right? So she's trying to make this work, has the kid in the car, and you're not necessarily thinking, oh yeah, kid's gonna die, right? So I kind of feel that's less intentional than getting in a car drunk.
Yeah, but I think you have to think about it. Being tired and forgetting your child, I feel like it's the same as if you were drunk. A lot of people would say, I'm so fucking tired, I feel like I'm drunk right now. And they probably would say, I don't want to start driving. And that's why they say, if you're really tired, park your car on the side of the road, have a nap. When you're okay to drive off. And for me, the excuse of, like, or the reason of, she's probably tired, she's working multiple jobs, she didn't remember the kid in the car, it's better than a guy that's drunk. But the level of brain, like, the way the mind works is probably the exact same, because he got in the car because he was intoxicated and he thought, I can drive, I can go. And so for me, what you're saying is, she was probably really tired, she's working multiple jobs, her brain wasn't working. And I feel like it's the same. But then if you compare it to someone else, like, let's say the big guy who killed someone, who shot someone, or however he killed that person, I think that if it was him escaping, it would be a completely different feel. Because these people, for me, it's true. These people, they made a mistake, and they're happy to be where they are, to like, you know, like throughout the whole film, the Miles Teller's character was completely fine being where he was. It's not like he was angry. It's not like he was like, yeah, I'm doing it.
But
it's fine.
Yeah, but
I know that I did wrong.
But that was the crazy thing about it, right? Because they're showing him like, oh yeah, I'm so distraught with what happened.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, wait, I should be out there. Yeah, I can't believe you've kept me in longer than I should be in. And it's
but
just
he
like,
found that out right at the end.
No, no. But what I'm saying is, right, if you're that, you don't care. That's not necessary. No. But that's not necessarily.
Imagine.
No. But it's just like you feel you should be there because that's how it was playing. He feel that's where he should be for what he did. So it's not like. Now, you're not saying you're not going to be pissed at the dude, right? That, boom. But the whole, I should be out of jail. I'm saying what we got from his character, I don't know if that's the driving force there. Being pissed at my man, yes. But the whole, I should have been out by now, I don't know, that didn't feel like that was the thing.
I think I may have missed that bit because I don't remember him ever being like, I should be out or whatever. All I remember is that like towards the last scene before he starts to fight with Chris, I don't know their characters at all. I just know Mark. Someone's called Mark. But anyways, Chris, you know what, we're gonna go by Chris and Miles because that's all I can remember. Chris tells Miles, "Oh, you should have been out 7 months ago."
Yeah.
And that's when he finds out, and then he finds out that the woman as well, she should have been released today, but you and Chris was basically saying, but you guys are staying from your free whatever. But it's like, I would be pissed off too if you told me now I did all of this and I'm free, but I'm still here like torturing other people. I'd be pissed off too because he doesn't want to torture people.
You can get pissed off at that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying, yes, that I'd be pissed off with him, but not. But he was pissed that he hadn't been released.
When did this happen? Because I cannot remember this.
Yeah, but doesn't mean it didn't happen because it did happen.
When?
At the end of the film.
But that's what I'm saying. I think you're reading it one way and I'm reading
No, because he says it. Like he said, once he finds out they should have been released.
You know,
he's pissed that they should have been released.
Exactly, and I would be too. I think he was pissed about the fact that he was meant to be released 7 months ago, and they didn't tell him. They lied to him and kept him in without telling him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I'd be fucking fuming. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but I'm thinking when you're playing a character like, this is where I deserve to be. This is where I deserve to be. This is where I deserve to be. To then have that quick 180, it doesn't feel right. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have the character do that, but there needs to be more time of like, hold on, you know what I mean? Contemplation.
Welcome to Directing 101.
But
that's what, well, that's the director's job, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why
he should have told him that's how you should be feeling in this moment.
But that's one of the things that didn't quite work in the film.
Well, in all honesty, that whole last scene of them in that office fighting, him playing with the emotions thing, the whole thing felt off. And that's what I meant by like, I feel like they got to the last, like, I said 3 pages, but the last 10 pages of the script and went, we need to wrap it up now. Let me just write some shit, because that whole scene just felt so disjointed. It felt like, it's like, you're really gonna tell me that a smart fucking scientist or whatever the heck he is just lets Mark, his little fucking monkey, swap the medicine, the thing that's in his back without knowing? Like, I just felt like none of that made sense. And then you're gonna hand the phone to the Miles guy, to the character that Miles play, and just let him.
But the phone was meant to control the woman.
Yeah, it was meant to control the woman.
And Mark changed it. But my whole thing was, and we see it so
But
many
why
times.
has this not been done before?
No,
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 what
no.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it just.
My
Do not judge
yes,
me, my man.
because my thing
Yeah.
is right, and we see it so many times
Yeah.
that someone's doing a thing,
Mm.
and then someone's just like, "Oh, but that's wrong. You should do it my way," and they're like, "Yeah," and that was it. Like
That's what
Mark,
happened.
yeah,
Yeah,
because that's the thing.
exactly.
Because Mark, he's not a. He's been doing these. It's not like he didn't know that these tests are funky. He was
Yeah.
fine with it, and then Teller's characters was like, "Oh,
Well-
he's a bad guy," and then he's just like, "He is a bad guy. I'm going to help you," and it was just
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?" Like the fact that he just changed
this is
like
what I
that
mean.
is insane.
I wouldn't say he didn't know, because you could tell throughout the film they obviously made him like angry at Chris, like, this is ridiculous, we shouldn't be doing this, etc. But you're right in the sense that, like, he just kept saying yes and kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Miles spoke to him, he was like, I mean, I'm sure there was more to it, because obviously it was like, I'm sure there was more to it, because I'm sure there's stuff that we didn't see, because it kept cutting back to, back and forth between different scenes. But it's, yeah, and that felt really weird to me, the fact that, like, the whole last scene played between Miles and Chris, and not Mark, Miles, and Chris, because it was Miles just saying, so I did this, and I told Mark to do that, and Mark is about to call the police, and the police is on his way, and this and that. But wouldn't it have been so much better if, like, Chris didn't know, and then Miles maybe said, like, oh, I have control of you, or whatever, and then Mark arrived with the, like, Mark was there, but he was just never there. He just left, and then never ever showed up again, and it was all in just talking about Mark, and I'm like, it just felt so weird.
Yeah, because Mark is as culpable as the others.
Yeah.
But it's like
Mark.
but that was the crazy thing of it. And that's what I mean about, like, the crimes they did and everything like that. It's like they're playing it like, oh, but these are good guys now. And you're just like, hold on, but they're not. Right? No. You can give us gray areas, right? They can be anti-villains, they get anti-heroes, whatever. But to then try and play it like these are the good guys is a little bit insane. And it just makes the film, it doesn't feel like it could have been better.
The ending could have been better.
It could have been a stronger film if it's just like, yeah, these are fucked up people and they've got it over on this other person. Then you'd be like, oh, yeah, fine. But it's just like, if we're now trying to change the whole context and go, these are good guys now. And it's a bit like,
again, I think someone who accidentally killed somebody that they loved, it was his best friend and his girlfriend he was completely in love with, you do your time, and I think you can change, and you can see it throughout the whole thing. He was like, I don't want to torture these people. It's not me. I accidentally killed someone. It's ruined my life. No, I'm not going to go and help you.
No, that wasn't the reason. The only, like, the reason was because he experienced that side effect of the drug, and he was just like, I feel really shit on that drug. I don't want to give it to other people. So
yeah, I don't think you would know, would you? Like, if it was euphoria, I'd be like, yeah, fucking you get euphoria. Let me give you some euphoria. But if you know that the drug is painful and it makes you go through all of this fucking shit, I wouldn't want you to go to do it. And I could very easily go, yeah, fuck it, have it. But he has a conscience. He knows not to do that.
I mean, but it still doesn't make you a good person. Not going like, yeah, I don't want these people to feel like that is one thing, but it still, you can still be a shithead.
Yeah, but I think by the time we see him in the film, I don't think he is anymore. I think you're right. When he was younger, he was an idiot. He drank too much. You could see it. He was stupid. But I think a lot of people, when they do jail time, especially for a crime that they didn't mean to do, he didn't mean to kill people, it was never his intention, I think you can change if you think that he was a shithead. I think you can change. And I did see the change.
I mean, you can change. I'm not debating that. But I'm just like, I kind of felt they didn't necessarily show it enough. They didn't really show the cat. They had him mooning over the girl, right? And then the flashbacks, but that's it. right? There's nothing else. And I'm like, you could build that character in a better way
Yeah, I
to
agree.
show the evolution of his thoughts and the process and all of that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing. If you take the film on a base level, it's fine. Right? It's fine. But if you're kind of an analytical mindset, if you because man, these things bug me because I just then think, oh, hold on a second, would someone do that? What would be the motivation? And it just throws me out of films a lot of the time because I just overthink everything.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm watching and I'm just like, I don't believe these motivations. I know, well, firstly, right? Who's putting a drug pack on the back on your back where you can knock it? And it's just like we saw it get knocked twice. I'm like, really? They're the only times this has ever happened. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, come on now.
Like the whole time.
Yeah, it would have been like you would have known that's a consequence of that placement.
Yeah.
It is not like, oh, that's the first time. That's the first. Shut up. Come on, man. Come on.
That's what's really annoying is that, like, when the trailer came out for this film, it had so much potential and I was so excited for it. And in all honesty, when I watched the film, I didn't feel like the trailer told the same story, like, at all. And so, yeah, we are really ripping into this film. It's a shame because, I mean, it's meant to be good. It's just fix the ending, you know, for me, make it slightly longer, expand on the characters, expand on like the story a little bit, and maybe don't make the ending so fucking easy. Oh, spoilers! Come on, we've just told the whole fucking thing.
This is what I will say about the ending, right?
Yeah.
Because we have him get into the thing and start going away, right?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, if it's fucking with you that you're not even lifting off. So it's just like, oh, everything's fine. And oh, now suddenly it's not. No,
exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that just made it stupid.
Yeah.
And then they're fine, right? It's just like, come on now.
I know. It's
that made it just a bit just
the endings where you ride into the sunset.
Yeah, the ending was like I kind of feel it's like the Island of Dr. Moreau, right?
I haven't seen it. Don't see it.
No, it was. It was. Everyone knows it's a shit film. It was a 90s film. Val Kilmer, when he was on his slide, but it's just like But the story itself is a classic. I think Jules Verne. I believe it's Jules Verne. Classic story. But it's just like, if you liked that film, right? If you liked the Guy Pearce Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think Spiderhead will work for you.
Okay.
Right?
I haven't seen any of them.
But it's like, it's not on the same level as like a Christopher Nolan film.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not on the same level
Yeah.
as like a real psychological kind of fuck fest. It's not one of them films.
Yeah.
But if you're just base level, if you don't want to think about something,
everything was just too easy.
It will play out fine.
It was like there was an explanation for everything and you could tell what was coming next. I felt very much. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're not, if you don't have to if you're not going to break it down, if you're not going to overanalyze, right, it will probably work.
If you like Miles Teller, if you like Chris, what's his last name? Hemsworth. Wait, how much can I spoil?
You can't spoil.
Basically, the way that Miles Teller's character found out that Chris's character...
Oh, that was fucking irritating.
It was too easy.
I hate that.
It's like, you're really going to tell me that in the time it took... This is the other thing, right? Hang on. There's two things here, right? Miles was... Unless they're different rooms, but they didn't look like different rooms. But Miles was in a room once, and he ran into the office after an experiment, and it took him 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Then there's another bit where Chris and Mark, no, actually Mark first has to run out to save somebody in the same room,
and
it takes him fucking 2 minutes, so the person dies or whatever. And the same with Chris, it takes Chris the same amount of time, and I'm like, within that, what the fuck? Like, that didn't make sense.
No, that didn't make sense. And it's just like the fact that all of that information was just in one place,
just there,
and
chilling.
also, but then
and the camera angles. Every time he put the book in, it was like, we get it. Something's gonna happen with the drawer. Like, it's like make it a bit less.
But the other thing about it as well was that someone that knows nothing suddenly deciphers everything from seeing a few things.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Seeing some numbers and going, hold on, that must mean this.
Yeah.
That must mean that. That must mean. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna come to those assumptions just like that.
That's what I mean.
That was
too easy.
But that, like, they often write that shit, and I always find it just mad lazy, because there's other ways you can do it, but it was just like, it's always like, everyone's dumb, let's make it real simple. And it's just like,
you don't need to explain everything. Thanks.
that wasn't great. That wasn't great.
And also the way that Chris's character fell asleep every night, I was like, how is that? Like, it's given us no reason for it. Like, we don't need to see that he uses the drug to fall asleep, and we never really see what he sees. So it's like, what's the point? I don't know why you need. I don't know. I just was like, why am I seeing this?
Yeah.
Like, please remove that and add a bit more information about everything else. I don't know.
Well, there was a lot of scenes in it, like a lot of the Lizzie cooking and stuff like that. You didn't really need that. No. That doesn't add anything to the film.
Yeah.
So giving more context so the film doesn't necessarily need to be longer. I just feel it could have been edited better. I mean.
No, it's not the editing. That is not the editing, because they need to have had that
No. When I say editing, I don't mean like I just mean like when you're
story.
Yes.
Like
Story.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying with the editing. Rather, it's just like, you cut that scene. Don't need that scene. Give another scene where he's reflecting on what he's doing and something like that, maybe. Or it's just like that.
But this is exactly what I mean. I feel like when writing the script, he gave so much information about people and everything, thinking that it was probably only like 10 pages, and then probably realized that it was fucking like 110 pages, and then went, shit, I should probably wrap this up, and then finish the film quickly, because so much information at the beginning and the middle just was not necessary, and probably could have taken half the time. And then the ending should have been dragged a bit, like more. So the film would have been the same length, like you said. It's just less information at the beginning, more information at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
There were some good twists in it, though. I won't tell you what they are, but there were some things that I didn't realize, that I didn't see coming, but they could have played it better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like, there are, there's some decent bits in the film, like soundtrack, fire. Soundtrack is fire. I feel the look and the feel of the film works.
Yeah.
The acting was okay.
Oh, I liked the acting, actually.
I mean,
the acting,
but it wasn't like award winning. Like, it was okay.
For me, Miles's performance was award winning, because when I was watching him perform, when he was on the drug, when he had to like look at something beautiful or cry or like be distraught or not feel anything, those are really difficult emotions to do if you're not actually feeling it.
I do it every day. I do it every day.
Yeah, well, you may feel it. You may be feeling it. But like, as an actor, I just thought it was incredible. Like, seeing his, especially right at the beginning of the film, when they give him when we see the drug being used for the first time. And I don't know which drug it was. It was the one that gave you, like, you saw everything so beautifully and everything. His face was I don't know. Like, yeah, he's a really good actor. He's a
But
really good.
I thought that was weird though, right? Just not that scene, but what I mean is from them what they say at the end about the drugs.
I can't remember what they said.
It's like only one of them really worked. So it's just like, hold on, we have people reacting in a different way, which wouldn't be, you know, the other drug. So what was that then? If the other things don't work, what was all the other stuff?
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
So now I understand. So the reason that one of them wasn't ticked on the piece of paper that he was ticking off is because he hadn't ticked all of the other ones off yet. Because we're all thinking, oh yeah, it's the last number, the biggest number, which is 40 or something, right? But we didn't realize that there was another number that was not ticked. And that's the one that controlled all the others. Is that right? So once you got all the others, that's when you would take that last one. But I'm very confused. I'm confusing my own.
No, but you know, but no one's making that assumption just from seeing it for a few seconds. But what I mean is, it's just like they say that only one drug actually works.
Yeah, that
which then means all the emotion, all the things that we have them see and do. What's that? It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's because
I've only just thought of that. That only just came to mind.
No, I understand. I think I understand it. Well, I don't know how much I can give away because I don't know what's spoiling it or not. But what they're saying is that one of the drugs is control.
Yeah.
And that's the one that works.
Yeah.
But I think that one is almost like that's everything. Because with the button, you're controlling them.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying. They're saying only one works, but unfortunately, because we didn't tick all the boxes, it doesn't work.
Well, I mean, it works, but it doesn't work to full extent, right? Because as I said, then you can't do, right? But that still means the other drugs don't work.
Well, no, they do work. They do work. That's what I mean.
No, but he said the others don't work, and the only one that worked was the control, which then makes you go, wait, but
I feel like I need to watch.
We have them see all the other stuff, so I don't. Yeah, it gets confusing. I feel Spiderhead is kind of confusing.
All of the explanations right at the end in one scene, and there's too much to take in. Like Chris is explaining everything, but there's just so much happening. It's just Jesus. Also, performance-wise, I mean, Chris was amazing, especially in the very last scene when he's, whating. All of the emotions, he's crying, he's laughing, he's in pain, he's this, but he's doing it so quickly, one after the other.
He's good. Hemsworth, Hemsworth is very good. That's what I mean, though. But the acting, I felt the acting was good.
Yeah.
The acting was good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The acting was okay. But I'm like, there's some films where you're just like, yo, they just fucking killed me with that. Then that's like, yo, then I'm just like, yo, that's something. Yeah. But this is like, it was good, which is okay. Right?
Yeah, it was okay.
It wasn't bad. The acting wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was okay.
My hair. Yeah, it was good. Should we talk about the next film? Have we battered this one enough?
I mean, you did. I did. I'm professional. And
yeah, of course. Me too.
Another film that I watched was Summer in the Shade.
Cool.
And this was an interesting flick. I remember it was directed by Alice Cooper, I feel. And I think it was written by Isabel something. I can't remember. The surname wasn't something. It's just I can't remember what the name was. But yeah,
surname was I can't remember.
It was a feature debut. It was a feature debut, and it was like two girls. I think one's Grace and So when I looked at the information, it says Asta. I thought they were saying Asda, and throughout the film, I'm like, why the fuck are you calling your kid after a supermarket? That's some dumb shit. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit. It's a cousin Sainsbury's. What's happening? But that wasn't her name. Her name was Asta.
Aster.
But it sounded like Asda. But Asta, anyway, it doesn't really matter. But Asda, she's having her 12th birthday. But I feel her friend Grace is 13.
Okay.
But they've known each other since Grace was 2.
Yeah.
Wait, that's kind of weird.
Why?
Because if Grace is 2, then Asta's like, she just dropped out.
1?
No, she's 2 years younger.
But you just said 1 year younger.
No, I said Asta.
She's 12,
I said Grace
and
is
she's
13. Well, 13, but she's just turning 12. That's
right,
2
I
years.
see, yeah.
Kind of. I don't know, depending when the fucking birthdays are.
Girl.
Okay. But yeah, so they've known each other for ages. And it's like there's a lot going on in this film because they're playing this supernatural angle here.
Okay.
Right? And we've got like Grace's dad has run off with a younger chick.
Yep. That happens.
Asta's dad has left as well, but that you kind of feel that was happened ages ago.
Okay.
But Grace's situation is fresher. And so we have all of this going down. Asta's they've gone on holiday to Cornwall and they brought Grace along with them. And I think Grace's mum, I think she's having some difficulties dealing with it all and all of that, which, you know, it's understandable. Right. But we have these 2 girls. It's like this coming of age type of thing.
Yep.
Right. So you're dealing with puberty, you know, body changing. You kind of feel that Asta, she's still happy being a kid. Grace kind of like,
she's a bit older.
I want to be a bit older now.
Yeah.
But some of that because a guy, they stumble on a guy, right? They stumble on a guy.
The kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's injured, and then he turns up at the house, and then mum's looking after this guy, right? And you kind of feel great. Some of Grace's actions are because of the guys there. And it's like, I don't want to look like a kid in front of this person.
Yep.
Right? But you have all of this going down around a framework of like a supernatural film.
But what's the supernatural part?
So the part is, right, you've got them saging the house, right? You've got them kind of reading ghost stories and like.
But does anything actually happen?
Well,
because that's what happens as a kid.
No, but that's the thing. So things are alluded to, but we don't see anything overt.
Okay.
Right. So you have music that isn't just a straight up danger music, but it's kind of a little ominous, right? You know, it's dark, like some scenes of playing with darkness and light and that kind of thing. So there's this illusion of the potential, right? There's a tarot reading, they talk Ouija boards. So there's all of this is out in the ether. You know what I mean? But we don't see anything, but you're playing on this angle. So when certain things are going down, it's just like, is it going to be this? Like, when's this going to happen? Like, what's going down? And also, the supernatural element is kind of a manifestation of the puberty, right? So the body changing, like, oh, what's happening? You know what I mean? So it was an interesting way in which it's all played.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought that now there's a scene where they're in a pub, right? Well, Grace is in a pub, and I'm just like, you have to, like, even me, and I can't see for shit. I'm not gonna think Grace is 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, anyone that thinks Grace is older than what Grace is, you have issues. You have fucking issues. So that scene was weird to me because I'm just like, the girl don't look like, whatever you do, You can throw makeup on her, you can do whatever. She ain't looking that old.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was a little bit odd.
Okay.
But I think as a whole, it was a nice film. It was a nice film. It's dealing with that whole friendship and just all of these kind of different themes and things like that. And yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. I thought it was decent. You know what I mean? It's not perfect, but it was a decent little flick.
Yeah,
you know?
nice.
Yeah. Out on all available VODs.
Really? What? Really? Now? Right now?
Yeah, it's out now.
Nice.
I'm a week late because I was waiting on an interview which didn't
like
come.
VOD, like Prime, like Amazon Prime.
Prime.
Can I watch it on Prime?
Google, all them
YouTube.
Tunes. Yep.
Like the rent.
Yep.
Nice.
I only realized recently that you could do that.
Or rent and buy on YouTube.
Yeah, I did not know that was a thing.
That's too weird for me. I'm like, where does it go? Where does the download go? Do I have to be on YouTube to watch it? Like,
Yeah, I'm not buying anything on YouTube.
No, me neither.
I tend to just use. I bought a couple of things because I never used to buy shit, or rent. But I bought a couple of things and rented a couple of things off Apple. Yeah, I was like, yo, look at me.
Apple confuses the shit out of me.
In the future, son.
Apple confuses the crap out of me because I got this subscription because I wanted to see some shows and a film or something.
Yeah.
And then most of the stuff I had to pay for, and I was very confused because I'm like, I'm already paying a subscription. So I can't remember. It was a while ago. I can't even remember what I wanted to watch, but I got it for a certain show, and that was free. Well, I say free. That was part of the subscription.
Yeah.
But then I started to scroll through, and I was looking at whatever else they got, and there was a film I wanted to see, and there was something else, and everything I had to pay for. I had to either rent or buy, and I was like, I thought Apple was like Netflix. Why is there everything like?
No. But it is like Netflix and Prime. In the extent of they've got their original films and all of that. So there's the Apple films, Apple TV shows. But then, because, iTunes and all of that, so you can buy stuff like on Prime. You know what I mean? Like there's things on Prime.
But I just didn't realize.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that they don't have license to, but you can buy it. So but it's like out of everything, Apple has the thinnest library.
I just don't. No, never mind. I was gonna say I just don't see the point because if you can find it somewhere else, why don't you just get it from there? But I guess if you're only paying $4.99, you could maybe rent or buy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But I mean, it's the same to rent on Apple as it is on Prime.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's decent. Another interesting film I watched was a new Shudder original called Revealer, which is what is written by Tim Seeley and I think it's Mark Mercedi or something. Both comic book writers.
Nice.
Set in the 80s, and it's around a dirty bookshop, which has, the girl dancing in the back. So,
gotcha.
So we had that, and then outside in the front of people, the Christians protesting it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the apocalypse comes.
Shit.
So that's the framework of it, which is fine.
I wonder who went to heaven and who went to hell. Out of both those.
Well, that's the thing. Now there's a thing literally at the very end of the film where some stuff is kind of revealed, but it's a bit of a confusing revelation because you're just like, but how does that make any sense? So I thought that was weird. Like the film itself, like look-wise, the feel of it definitely felt like it was an 80s. Okay. Right, just the tones that they've used.
Like a bit of Stranger Things. Maybe not. No. Less 80s.
I've watched No, probably. Yeah. Because I've only watched the first season so far.
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel that kind of vibe, right? And what they're wearing and just everything like this.
Cool.
So that all works. I think it gets a little bit on just the dynamic between these two girls.
Okay.
There's at one point you've got this, the Christian hating this dancer, and then throughout the film we get these revelations. Just the obvious shit that you can think of, like, oh, but the Christian isn't as righteous as she's seen. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's obvious. Some obvious shit. Which is
what's this film called again?
Revealer.
Okay.
And it's fine, but I'm just like, I feel more time needed for that whole relationship to fully breathe and evolve. Right? In the space in which we get, because I think it's about 85 minutes. I think it's just under an hour and a half.
Okay.
And it's just like what we get from these two, because it's you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. Oh, we're best friends. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's just all way too quick
convenient.
And way too and so I think that's the main issue I had with that.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it is fine. The rest of it is fine. But it's just that dynamic between these two girls. I'm just like, doesn't quite work in the manner that we're watching it.
Yeah. I kind of wish I'd seen it now. Because I don't know what he's talking about. I'm kidding. No, I understand. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
From like a writer's point of view.
Yeah. I'm just like, there needs to be more. Right? Because I'm just like, I get, like, you can see what they're trying to do, where they're trying to take it. And you can see, this would work over a comic book series.
Yeah.
But as a film,
maybe not.
Didn't quite work. I think it either needed more time, or you needed to show these different elements of why something would change.
Okay.
Right? And don't leave it to the very end to go, oh, because I'm this, oh, I'm that, and oh, now we're friends. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too easy.
Yeah. But that's available on Shudder.
Shudder?
Yeah. And then the other film is Ultrasound.
Now I skimmed through this one. So
Ultrasound. Ultrasound was. Ultrasound is odd.
Okay, tell me what it's about, because from the name, from the snippets that I saw, I couldn't tell, like, whether it was good, what it was about, but also the name.
There's medical testing going on.
Yeah, because that's what I saw a little bit of.
But it's like, at first, I thought it was a Stranger Than Fiction type of vibe, where you're watching stuff happening, and then we're pulling back kind of thing to people that are orchestrating the whole thing. That's not it. That's not it. It goes in this whole different direction, which is fine. But I think when you read the synopsis of the film, right, that's not clear. Like the things they talk about in the synopsis, not clear from watching the film.
It's almost like you're watching a trailer and then the film's completely different than the trailer.
Yeah.
Right?
And so it's just a bit like, I don't know, there's stuff that you go, okay, that's smart. Now, I think there's a lot of blurb out there which is kind of going, oh yeah, this is similar to Christopher Nolan's Memento and Primer. And I'm like, it is not. It is nothing like those films. Right. Like those films are really smart with the way they played with time, with the way they structured the film.
Yeah.
Now there is something that happens at the very start of the film, right? When we see him go into a house, we see him walk past something, and you're kind of like, wait, you're ignoring that?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that make you suspicious? Like, what the fuck? Now, then later on, we see why that was a thing. And you're like, okay, that's cool. That works.
Mhm.
But it's just like, if that's the case, then there's a lot of stuff that you have to question, right? And
Okay.
it's a bit odd. And again, like in Spiderhead with Mark,
Yeah.
who knows what he's getting into when he's working there.
Yeah.
And he's fine with it to a point, and then all of a sudden it's just like it's too much.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
get a similar character in this one with
Okay.
a doctor, and she's working on these experiments, and it's all fine. And then suddenly, this she learns this one thing, and you're like, "That's too much." I'm like, that's the
That's the
fucking
line.
hill you're dying on, because kind of feel there's some other shit that was worse than that,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's the thing that you're like, no, and you're just like, wait, what? And so you then have like these decisions and these things go down which don't necessarily make any sense, right? It's like, again, in Spiderhead, where he looks at something and deduces all of this stuff. And in this one, yeah, again, a little bit of info, and suddenly all this stuff is deduced, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do
I
this.
feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah,
Like
it just,
I mean, I get it. You only have a certain amount of time.
but it's just lazy.
But
It always just feels lazy, because we've seen it, people do it very well, right? To play with these twists, using Christopher Nolan as a benchmark, right? We see the way, like, Memento was so good. Like, you start off watching that film going, man, poor dude. That film going, he's an asshole. He's a real cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's great because it's the way it unfolds, and you're just fully in, you're invested, and so you're pissed when you find out he isn't a good guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's so smart. So we can see that it can be done in a way that really works. And so
but
when
then you
these
have
other
to be
people
careful
do
not
it,
to you have to be careful not to copy, right? Like you have to sometimes.
but it wouldn't, like, it's not copying. But I'm just like, when you see someone like try and have these characters do these things, but the motivation is real sketchy.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, you've got them suddenly do this? Like, what happened there? Like, what?
Yeah.
And it's just like, no. We know it can be done, right? We know, we've seen it work well. Why have you made it feel so lazy?
Yeah.
That's just that's a thing. So it's like ultrasound, I feel it's an interesting idea. It's a real interesting idea. It just doesn't necessarily hit.
You've not given a lot of information about that, because the other films you kind of almost gave like a. You kind of said, what it was about. You said, well, this happens and that happens. But with this, you kind of just went, yeah, it's interesting. And it's like this film and that film. But I actually mean right now, I don't know what it's about.
Well,
it's about some doctors.
Yeah, but the problem with ultrasound is, it's, you can't talk about it too much
without giving stuff away. Oh, okay.
Because it's like there's
like everything leads to
and there's like these two kind of stories, well, three kind of stories going on, right? There's a guy who ends up sleeping with another guy's wife, but the husband is like, yeah, sleep with my wife, right? So we have this weird situation going on. There's another situation with a girl who's having an affair with a politician. And then we have the story from like the researcher's point of view.
Okay.
But they do all intertwine.
Yeah, that would.
But it's just like, it's hard to talk about them because the way they intertwine, and it's like, yeah, it's just gonna spoil everything by going, oh
Okay.
yeah, this is the, and then you're like, ah, fuck, but that plays, and then it's
Yeah,
just
don't
like,
do that
so
then.
it's just,
No, I
yeah,
get it.
it's an interesting concept that doesn't necessarily deliver all the way through.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen people do it and make it like Stephen Moffat when he took over Doctor Who from Russell T Davis.
That was bad.
And Davis, I hate Russell T Davis's writing.
What,
I
really?
hate his writing.
Oh,
It's like it's
no.
fart jokes, it's infantile, it's just it doesn't work for me. Now,
But it works for
obviously,
Doctor Who. I think,
eh,
unfortunately, when they changed it, you know, it
I
got a bit
preferred the
too.
more serious Doctor Who.
Okay.
I preferred, but that's the thing for me.
Yeah.
Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who, well, Doctor Who under Matt Smith,
Okay.
because I tried the Capaldi. I tried
Yeah.
just and I don't love Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I just really like Stephen Moffat's writing,
Okay.
so I watched that run, and with Matt Smith, it really works. And there's a couple of episodes. There's one with Stone Angels, where you're playing with time and action.
Yeah.
And we're seeing things happen, and you're like, wait, that seems random. And then later on in the episode, you sit, you're like, oh, fuck, it's so smart. And at the very beginning of his run, no, on the last episode of David Tennant's run,
yeah,
we see this stuff go down. And there's like bits where he's walking, and then suddenly he's holding something, and you're like, wait, where did that come from? And you're like, it's a good episode, some random shit here.
Yeah.
And then in one of the last episodes of Matt Smith's run, you see the flip side of that episode.
Like the reason,
and it's just like, oh, like there's a bit where he hands him the thing, and you're like, oh, so in the film when we see him take the thing from nowhere, that's him where he took, and so it just works so well.
It took a while though. Like if you didn't watch it religiously, you'd be like, well, why is this?
That's
like risky in my opinion.
Oh no, there's like, a risk to it. Like now, the episodes on their own do work.
Yeah,
but you get a lot out of them if you've seen
the whole thing,
both parts.
Like a lot of it. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's just like, yeah, there's a risk to it, but the payoff is the people that watch it.
Yeah,
all the way through. But we've seen that sort of storytelling work, and Ultrasound was trying to do that kind of thing, and it just, for me,
it just didn't work.
It doesn't quite hit it. It's
trying. Again.
It takes a, you know what I mean, it takes a valiant swing. So props for the attempt. Doesn't quite work.
And where can you watch this?
That is available on all favorite VODs.
Amazon Prime as well.
Prime.
I'm gonna give it a go.
All of them things.
I'll try and watch it.
You can.
I'll see if I can decipher it better than Kev.
But yeah.
All right.
That's it. 4 films this week.
4 films. That was a lot. I wouldn't have been able to fit 4 films in.
If you watched all of them, it might be a lot. You know what I mean? Some people don't do their homework.
Some people have been working with a migraine today. Thank you very much. I have no.
My little violin. Oh.
Yes. This is also why I look like absolute garbage. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. How do we close this?
Close it by telling people, right? Share the shit with your peoples, man. Yes. Because this is straight flavor. You know that shit. So share with your peoples, right? And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to drop it next week, but I had a really good fucking interview.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to even tell you who I spoke to. I spoke to old Daniel Glenn Barber. You might go, Daniel Glenn Barber? Who that? I mean, like, he's the director of Yes Man. Right? He wrote, he directed, he edited. He did a load of fucking things.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Just a man.
Hard. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's a yes man.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I will direct. Yes, I will edit. Yes, I will write. Let's
Yeah,
go.
is a lot. But yeah, so look, we covered the film, I think 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, managed to get a sit down with Daniel. Had a great this was a epic fucking conversation. So
Nice.
yeah, that's gonna be dropping. It might drop next week, people, but it might drop the week after. The only way you'll find out is subscribing to this. Subscribe.
Subscribe. I've never done this before.
'Cause we got-
Subscribe. Subscribe
Yeah.
below. Red button. Subscribe. You'll know if you're subscribed because it'll add the D at the
What are you
end.
doing? Add the D?
Subscribed.
Oh, yeah. I
There
was
you
just
go.
like, wait, a random fucking D.
If
What
there's
does
a
that
D,
mean?
you're good.
Okay, that makes sense.
That
All
makes
right,
sense.
fine.
Cool.
All right, people.
I had a lot of fun. This has been good.
All right.
Good, let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, we might
'Cause
invite
I'm
you
the-
back.
Oh,
We
fuck.
will see.
Okay.
We will see. We're gonna get those spoilers under control.
I know. This is my first one, you know.
And would you have liked it if I spoiled from A to Q? If I'd given everything away?
No.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Be
I didn't
respectful
know
for
what
people's
we could
work.
talk about.
Be respectful for people's work. Yeah?
Don't fucking tell me
Yeah?
I'm not respectful, all right? Don't let people know that I'm not respectful.
Hey, you turned up looking like that. They know you ain't respectful.
I'm just gonna see myself out.
Yo, people, thank you for tuning in.
Thank
And yeah, until next time, enjoy your film watching. Peace.
See ya.
All right, so as we draw to a close on another episode, right? Which, hey, it's been a bit fire, right? Been a bit fire. El Fadli been kicking it. So, people, let's take a look at what's going down, shall we? Now, this kind of came out of nowhere, but Nia Vardalos has decided to make another My Big Fat Greek Wedding film. Yeah, which is kind of crazy because I didn't watch it because I don't know. I thought the first one was okay, right? But it wasn't something that was like, I need to know what happens next. So I didn't watch the second one. What I heard was the second one kind of stunk. So it's been so long. So it does seem a little crazy, right? To do a third installment. But that's what they're doing. Yeah. There's a third film on the way. Right? Also, people, well, I heard the other day that oh my god, Andrew Schultz. Yeah, Andrew Schultz is gonna be in the new White Men Can't Jump remake, as well as Tamira Kisson, right? Yeah, she's gonna be in it, playing a character called Sheila. Yeah, like this is a new character supposedly. So I don't know if this Sheila character is a replacement from Rosie Perez's character, who is dating Woody Harrelson. So the Jack Harlow character, because it says she's playing opposite Harlow, which I mean anyone in the film is technically playing opposite Harlow. So I don't know, right? I don't know. But yeah, we will have to see. We will have to see. So in other news, right? So Paula Hawkins, right? She's just dropped a new novella called Blind Spot, right? You might know her from the woman that wrote The Girl on a Train. Well, this novella has been picked up by Blumhouse and Paper Pictures, right? So they are going to like throw it on streaming. So the story supposedly follows Edie Jake and Ryan, three friends with an unbreakable bond since childhood and sharing a past they tried hard to leave behind. When Jake is brutally murdered and Ryan is accused, a grief stricken Edie finds herself alone for the first time, and someone has been watching and waiting for this moment. Okay, well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound crazy original. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we did something when we were kids, and now it's coming back to haunt us. Bum bum bum. You know what I mean? But hey, it's her take, so it could be fire. Let's see. Let's see what happens with that. Right. So look, we know they're making a sixth Scream film, and word is that Henry Sherney Shizuni, yeah, he's joining the cast, right? Um, yeah, no word on what his character's going to be, but yeah, he's now in the film. Okay, so uh Kevin Costner is coming back to the directing chair, right? He last directed something all the way back, people, in 2003. 2003. You know, he's been doing very well on the small screen with Yellowstone. But yeah, he's coming back. He's directing a, sounds like it's probably going to be a Western ish kind of film, but also in the kind of vein of a Yellowstone, you know, because Yellowstone, we got the original, and now we got all of these spin offs, you know, kind of fleshing out this story and all of that. So, yeah, this new film, Horizon, is actually going to be part one of a um quadruped quadruped. I don't know. There's a four film movement, as it were, right? So yeah, it's an interconnected four film saga. Each film they're saying is going to be about 3 hours long. Woo! But here's the thing, it's not going to be one of them ones where, okay, so, you know, every Christmas the new one's going to, no, they're going to drop them 3 months apart. Yeah. So technically, you could get all three films in a year, depending on when they're going to drop the first one, you know? But yeah, supposedly there's 170 speaking roles in this joint, right? Whew. So they're saying the story will span 15 years in the settlement of America's western frontier and focus on both the settlers as well as the indigenous groups that first occupied the land. So we will see what I going with this one. All right. So a little, I mean, I said a little while ago, a few years ago, right? Valiant Comics, it was word comes, right, that they were going to try and bring their comics to the big screen, right? Create their own comic book film universe. It all went a bit wonky because I think originally it was at Sony, and then they went and jumped to Paramount, but Sony had already done what was the fucking film called? Vin Diesel was in it. I forget what that film was called. But yeah, they'd already done that film. So, and I think Sony has the rights to that for a while. So it's just like, and that character's a pivotal part in the universe. So it's a bit like, yo, what's happening? So you wondered what was going down. But right? So word is they're looking to restoke the fires. So Paul Downs Cal Colazizo, it looks like he's going to direct and write Harbinger. Um, yeah, over at Paramount, right? It's being produced by Neil Moritz, Toby Gaff, and Dan Mintz, right? And this is the group book. So yeah, it's a group book. Like we kind of got some of that group in that Sony film, which yeah, I can't. God damn it, I can't remember what the fuck that was called. Can't remember what that was called. It's gonna bug the fuck out of me. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But another comic book adaptation that is coming this time to Universal. It's another Green Hornet film. Green Hornet and Kato, and Lee Wannell is gonna be directing. Ugh. Ugh. So David Cope, he's written a script that everyone seems to be very high on. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? Hopefully, it's just better than that last film because that not good, not good at all. Now we continue with the comic book sheet, right? So we know Sony, they are making more Spider-Man related films, right? Trying to expand that bit of the Marvel pie they have. And yeah, they're doing Craven, right? Which he's in Spider-Man's villain pantheon, right? Now it looks like they're doing some different things with this character, right? So word is Aaron Taylor Johnson will be playing Craven, right? And yeah, he's said one of Marvel's most iconic, notorious anti-heroes, Spider-Man's number one rival. He's not an alien or a wizard. He's just a hunter, human with conviction, an animal lover and protector of the natural world. He's a very, very cool character. I mean, he was a hunter, you know what I mean, originally. So it's like, they're saying he's a conservationist in this version, which all right, that's how you're gonna play it. Let's see what the fuck happens, shall we? Um, so look, we know that we are getting a Spy Kids revival, right? We know that. And yeah, more details seem to be fleshing out, right? So, this is Robert Rodriguez. I feel he's got a deal at Netflix, right? I feel he has. I'm not sure. See, I know he's making stuff at Disney as well. So anyway, it's at Netflix, right? And we have got Zachary Levi, Gina Rodriguez, Everly Carganilla, right? And Connor Esterson, right? They will be the new family involved, right? So yeah, Rodriguez is directing, producing, and co-writing. He's co-writing with Racer Max, right? And it says, in the new film, the children of the world's greatest secret agents unwittingly help a powerful game developer unleash a computer virus that gives him control of all technology, leading them to become spies themselves to save their parents and the world. So it is being produced by David Ellison, Dana Goldberg, Elizabeth Avalin, and Don Granger. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Right. So yeah, we've heard a little bit, right, about was it the School of Good and Evil, right? Another Netflix original. It's been directed by Paul Feig. I don't know, right? It follows best friends Sophie and Agatha, who find themselves on opposing sides of a modern fairy tale when they are swept away into an enchanted school where young heroes and villains are trained to protect the balance of good and evil, right? So Kerry Washington, she plays Professor Dovey, the Dean of Good. Charlize Theron is Lady Lesso, the Dean of Evil. We got Lawrence Fishburne, right? He's playing the schoolmaster. Michelle Yu is Professor Anemone, right? It's being written by Laura Salon and David Maggie, right? Um, and it's an adaptation of Soman Chani's book, right? Now, big bit is Kate Blanchett has come on board as the narrator of the piece. So, yeah, I mean, it does sound like it could be interesting. So I'm waiting to see how this all coalesces, people. And this is pretty good news, right? We're gonna end on this bit. So Lisa Doe, right? She's been all over the place lately, and she is joining Denis Villeneuve's part 2 of June. Yes, yes, yes. Now, come on, just saying that, right? Lisa Doe, who do you think she's going to be playing? Right? Going to give you a few seconds. Who do you think? All right, people. All right, no need to shout. I will tell you. She is going to be playing Lady Margaret Fennering. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Right? She's a member of the Bene Gesserit, and she's married to Count Fenring, the best friend of Emperor or Emperor fuck, can't say his name. But yeah, he's the best friend of the Emperor. So it's a good role. It's a good role. She definitely has a pivotal thing to play up in there. So yeah, people, god damn it. If I couldn't be looking forward to this anymore, ugh, just more shit comes and you're like, yo, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, people. Yeah, I think we will sign off now, shall we? Yeah, I think that's what we'll do.